Hello there. My name is Corey, and I am a Star War.
And my name is Corey, and I am a Star War.
And my name is Jim, and I am a Star War.
And
we are a Star War. Before we get too far into this one, if you hear the sounds of rivets and power tools in the background, it's because we're recording this episode in one of the hangars on Yavin 4. We are actually in one of the Rebel Alliance hangars, and so they're working on X-Wings in the background.
If they hear the saw in your kitchen or the drill, that means they also probably sat through the outside episodes where we just had birds and shit.
Those were good. I liked them. I listened to that episode. It was very zen. It was it was nice.
It was fine.
The cicadas are out in force now, though, so it'd be tough to record outside right now.
Yeah. We're in Alabama, roll tide.
Yeah, we are. All right, so what are we recording? What's the theme? What's the episode?
This is episode 4. This is the one you've all been waiting for.
Oh, this is the biggie.
Movie.
The OG.
We've all seen it 1,000 times. And, you've all seen it 1,000 times. And you've probably listened to some podcasts about it. Well, this isn't your normal podcast, right? This is just us having fun.
Three buttholes talking about Star Wars.
We'll do some facts and figures. We watched it together a few weeks ago. If you listened to our last episode, The Acolyte, then we got together with the intentions of recording some episodes. We rented a cabin in Georgia and had a bunch of fun. Too much fun, actually, which is why we decided not to record.
So it was the correct amount of fun.
I don't know about that.
It was proper.
Saturday was a little tough. Sunday was tough because of what happened Saturday.
Yeah, my asshole still hurts.
That probably didn't sound the way you wanted it to.
No, that's exactly how I wanted it to sound. Because it sounds, a little, what are we doing? Sword fighting.
Yeah, I might edit that whole part out. Let's just wait and see.
So, A New Hope.
A New Hope. Here we
are. A New Hope. Facts and figures.
Take a handful of notes. You took some notes on my behalf.
A little bit. We're going to be winging a lot. So we're going back to May 25th.
I just read Scott Turner's commercial that we're going to record later.
The one I've been asking
my bad.
to read
Sorry.
An hour.
Okay, yeah. May 25th, 1977.
Which was also the birthday
of our own Jim.
Jimmy.
Jim. That was your day.
It's my day.
Your mom could not go see this movie on opening day.
Or, much to her disappointment.
Unless she went that morning.
Oh, maybe.
That's true.
Maybe.
And had him later. I don't know what time you were born, Jim.
Directed by George Lucas on a budget of $11 million. And then on Wikipedia, it says that the box office $775 million. So that's definitely not opening like the first release. That's its whole lifetime. Re-releases and special editions.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Which means that 11 million is, I'm sure he spent 200 million on the special editions. Probably. That's a wild guess that we could look on our phones and find out, but we're not gonna. So it was released as Star Wars. Star Wars. The movie was called Star Wars. And
was it always plural? There was never just Star Wars?
It was never Star War.
Okay.
He did from the beginning. He figured out there was multiple wars.
Because if you're gonna have one, you're probably gonna end up having two. That's or at least a small follow-up.
That's the only thing he knew in advance when this film was done.
Right.
Everything else was up in the air.
Including Luke and Leia being brother and sister.
Exactly. This movie won 6 Oscars.
Holy cow, I did not know that.
I didn't either. Do you want to guess what they are?
Sound design.
Yes.
Special effects.
Visual effects, yeah.
Editing.
Film editing.
Damn.
3 more.
Was it best acting?
No.
Mark Hamill won for best acting,
Not
didn't
any
he?
of the biggins.
All right, that's it.
Original score.
Oh, shit. John Williams. Yeah, my goodness.
Costume design.
Of course.
Vader. Art direction.
Makes sense.
Okay.
That tracks.
So.
Good for Star Wars.
I think this is the, 5th? No, this is the 6th movie that we've done.
Yeah.
Because we did the trilogy and the 2 extras.
Yep.
This is the first one that's won any Academy Awards, right?
I think they won for visual effects.
I thought there'd been a couple of VFX.
I think they were all
bunch of them is like lost to the Matrix.
They all lost
to the Matrix.
Lord of the Rings
and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like even Solo and Rogue One lost to the Matrix and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. It was like a re-release thing. That's all I put down for vital information. But the first question that we had was, when did this become episode 4, A New Hope? And the answer is, in 1981, it came out. They put it back in theaters after Empire had come out and been a big hit. Oh. And when Empire came out, it said episode 5. And everybody was like, the fuck?
Oh, I did not know that.
So then later that year, he puts this back out, and he's like, "This is also called
so
episode 4
he's been putting
now."
this movie out like every 6 years since it came out.
Tinkering the whole time. Yeah.
Just like...
So how confused were people? Because they ain't had no internet back then.
Yeah.
You just had like comic shops you could go to and
you had
stand around.
Starlog magazine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait for people to talk to.
Mm-hmm. And then you see episode... And you're
I didn't see this movie first.
No.
The first one that I remember seeing in the theater was Jedi, and I'm pretty sure I saw Empire first because that was the first VHS tape my family rented.
I think Ray
was
walked
Empire.
up. I think Ray had Empire, and then I got a copy because they had 2 VCRs, I think.
What's better than one?
2.
That's how you dub the tape.
And then
It's the Mac.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think I saw Empire first, and then I definitely saw Jedi in the theater. I could be wrong on that end, but
You saw Jedi in the theater?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw
Oh,
it.
okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, Jedi to me was Star Wars, and this was a prequel to me. I was there's earlier
So you
ones.
have older siblings.
Earlier.
Yeah.
What was their exposure like? Did they ever talk about Star Wars to you? Like, did they see Star Wars in the theater, the original, A New Hope?
My brother Travis was 7 when this movie came out. So
It's a perfect age.
I'm sure that they took baby brother Travis to see it. I'm sure. I don't know that for sure, but he's at the perfect age. So he every toy that I think I had when I was a kid, I realized
really
I basically
is?
just
You've been
stole
stealing them from him?
Yeah. I'm like, I had the Hoth playset. I'm like, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Sorry, Travis.
That was Travis's.
That was Trav's.
It's like it's both yours.
Yeah.
Sure, now.
Yeah.
He wants it back, by the way.
Probably. Yeah, so I can remember seeing this one in the theater, but I feel like Star Wars movies would come on like ABC Movie of the Week or whatever back in the Stone Age when we only had a couple of TV channels. So you would watch it all chopped up with commercials and everything.
Yep.
And then we got HBO. We were pretty early on HBO, and I feel like it was on there a lot too.
We had one of them boxes that you
With
could,
like 89 buttons
Yeah.
across the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Like the very first cable. Yeah. So the big question, what does this movie have that the other 10 movies don't have? And
That's kind of a tough one.
I mean, this has everything in it. This invented the entire
This
universe.
has the first appearance of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
you know what this movie has that none of the other movies have? The pressure of being part of a saga or a sequel or a franchise.
That's true.
When this movie came out, it was just this movie.
He was
That's
just
true.
throwing shit on the wall.
Right. So everybody came to it going, I got no idea. Got no
Mm-hmm.
expectations. I got no bias, right? Like folks went to the theater and saw this thing that they'd never seen before.
And it ends
That's what
with
this movie has going for
with
it.
a nonsensical award ceremony, which tells you, over. Fairy tale is over.
Done.
Thank you,
Go
everyone.
home.
Good guys won.
Go home.
Yeah. Darth Vader, you saw him? We killed him, right? He blew off into space. Cool. Good job, everybody. Yeah. And then they made 8,000 more hours of content on it.
Most of which is great.
Wild. What else for round 1? Feelings. What does this movie mean to you? What does this evoke in you?
It's
I mean-
changed for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, like I said, this wasn't the first one that I saw, as far as I remember. Like I said earlier.
When?
But just the words, like Star Wars, was like my childhood. Like, we'll get there eventually, but like, there's a handful of things that I associate with my childhood. There was like seeing Luke with the fucking black robes, when he goes to talk to Jabba and the fucking green saber, and you're like, what the fuck is that? He had a blue saber before, and now it's green.
But then he got his hand cut off.
Yeah, that's right.
That saber's just caught in orbital
I don't think that's possible.
sequence around Bespin.
But yeah, I mean, it's like my childhood.
This
That's what I
avocado
think. Not
just suddenly noticed the person who has been here the whole time.
for a couple.
Sorry
hours.
about that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about my childhood. Like, Star Wars was everything about my childhood, and like Michael Jackson Thriller and Purple Rain.
Michael Jackson should have been a Star Wars. And yes, I saw that Captain Nemo movie that he did for Epcot.
You know, he wanted to be Jar Jar really bad.
I did not know
And
that.
he was like talking to Lucas about it and stuff, and was like, I'll put in $100 million. Let's make this movie. Like, you know, like
Wow.
being crazy.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, at this point, this movie is like, it encapsulates everything about Star Wars in that so much of it like doesn't make any sense anymore because it's all gotten so convoluted. Like, we'll get into that when we kind of go through it, but it's like half the movie, you're like, is he lying? Because what he's saying is wrong. Mostly Obi-Wan. Like, everything Obi-Wan says in this movie, you're like, well, now I know that's not true, or he's twisted it, or he made it, whatever.
That's because he was hiding.
He was hiding, but like, I don't know, like he's hiding everything until the moment he was dead. It was all like weird lies and orchestrated stuff.
He was really good at playing the long game.
This movie has Alec Guinness. Well, he's in the end of Jedi also as a Force Ghost.
He's in
Yeah, he's
Empire
a Force
too.
Ghost in Empire too.
That's right.
On Dagobah.
I think he made more money on Empire and Jedi than he did on A New Hope because he's like, I don't want to be in that shit.
I'm
sure he did, yeah.
This is terrible. I don't want to do it.
I don't think he
And they
ever
were
liked
like,
it.
and then Lucas showed him the checkbook and he was like, all right, I'll be there.
You can come in for one day and do your scene for Empire, and
I don't have to go to Tunisia. I don't have to go to
And you're gonna
Pinewood,
be-
right? Like,
And you're going to be blurry. We're not. You don't even
And
have
you
to try
can come
that
in
hard.
for
because
1
I don't want
hour
makeup.
Yeah.
and do your part for Jedi. We'll give you a lifetime salary for 1 hour of your day.
No, we'll give you a lifetime subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Before we end this segment and hear a commercial, where do you rank this? 1 to 11. That's freaking tough
For me, it's number 3.
because it's not one.
Like,
Wait, are we going with best or favorite?
Favorite.
still number 3 for me.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm always going to put Jedi at the top because it's the first one I saw in the theater.
I think-
It's not
I
the
think
best
we're
movie, but it's my
probably-
favorite movie.
We're probably all on the same page.
I
It's
think we are,
probably
too.
And
all.
that's because of our generation. And when we, oh, hey, CJ.
Hey.
She's making a very strong argument for us wrapping this up.
Yeah, I think it's probably Jedi Empire.
Yeah.
New
That's,
Hope.
that's it for me, which is the reverse order that I saw them in, or the order that I saw them in.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, that's for me too. It's 3. All right. Let's take a break. Come back to Force
Taking a
Lightning
break.
Round.
Taking a break.
Are your buttholes chapped and chafed from unrest in the outer rim? Sand getting everywhere? Yearning for relief in your galactic core? Relax at Kit Fisto's Healing Force Day Spa. Experience the rejuvenating effects of sacred tech smoke therapy, or immerse your buttholes in the healing blue milk baths of our Octo experience.
Relax your butt.
Bask in the organic Dagobah Swampatorium or enjoy the brisk refreshment of icy Hoth cryotherapy. Not cold enough? Maybe a carbonite cleansing is for you.
Relax your butthole.
Other services include
Indoor pine tar bath.
Great salt scrub.
Mustafar chemical peel.
whether you're looking for a complete multi-rectal lift or the holistic benefits of kyber crystal insertion. Bring all your buttholes to Kit Fisto's Healing Force Day Spa, the chicest bum boutique on Coruscant.
Buttholes.
And we're back.
Welcome.
Hello.
This is round 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Force lightning round.
Make it happen.
What's the best scene in this movie?
Damn.
Let's name 3. We got the trench fight. The
Han showing up, knocking Vader out is a pretty good scene.
all that shit.
Yep.
The blowing up of the Death Star, let's say. We have the opening scene.
Cantina. Mos Eisley, the cantina. Obi-Wan
Cantina.
cutting off that dude's arm freaked me out as a kid.
I do really like the scene when they're in Obi-Wan's place and
The opening.
he's talking about there's this whole new life that you're fixing to have to like this was your daddy and you should be following in his footsteps, and he gives him the saber. It's a pretty kick-ass scene.
Yeah.
And it's really cool the way that Alec Guinness sung "It's a Whole New World."
Don't you dare close your eyes.
See?
Yeah.
Use the Force, it gets better.
See?
What else? What other scenes? I mean, there's like all the stuff on the Death Star where they're rescuing the princess and
I mean, the opening scene, you're right. The opening scene.
with the Star Destroyer coming after the Tantive. Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called.
Tantive
It's
4. Leia's ship.
Leia's ship.
Because
That's got to be the best scene.
Freaking grabs you
Yeah.
at the very beginning. So
Yeah, that was some kick-ass shit for
this is the coolest
1977.
thing.
It still is.
And I
it's
can
still the gold standard. It's incredible.
And I can remember that was the first thing when he started messing around with special editions and re-releases and all that. One of the first things they did was put that out in IMAX. And I feel like we went and saw something just because it had the first like 2 minutes of Star Wars in IMAX in it. It was like an IMAX movie.
Did we go see Blade Trinity in IMAX just to see the teaser for the Star Wars special release?
Something. But we did something because
We gotta get the VHS sometime.
I probably ruined it. I'm sure it's in my attic somewhere.
Well,
But I've got it.
I suggest you get up there in this Alabama heat of the summer.
It is 3,000
And look
degrees
for
up
it.
there. I will
Heck
burst into
yes.
flames.
Well, you don't love us.
No. And I've never loved Star Wars.
What's the best line of this movie?
I got one. I've always loved, probably when I fell back in love with the movies, English classes, and I can't remember if it was 11th or 12th grade, Miss Montgomery, who is now Miss Freeman, for creative writing. No, for English classes, she used A New Hope to teach. There were examples of like hubris and catharsis and all these different things that we were studying, right? So we watched A New Hope, and one of the lines that stuck with me was the one from Obi-Wan where he says, "Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?" I love that shit.
My favorite line is also from Obi-Wan, and it's the classic, "These aren't the droids you're looking for." It's a good line.
Yeah,
It's a good line.
it is also coming up.
How about you,
Possible
Sideburn? What's
best
your
use of
favorite
force.
line?
The Force will be with you, Luke, always. Like Force Ghost says that to him
Oh, yeah, that's right.
when he's in the trench,
It's good shit.
I like it.
or when Han says, "Yeehaw!"
Which is
That part's
that
good.
movie's version of Yippee!
Yeah, try spinning.
This is a
good
neat
move.
trick.
This is a neat trick.
Best side character.
I mean, I'm going to say who you hate, R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Are they side characters?
They kind of are.
Yeah, they're the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of this movie, right?
I guess they're like the only characters for the first 10 minutes.
That's true. I mean, you meet Leia and you meet Vader. You meet Vader before you meet Luke,
True.
right?
You made Vader in the 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
And that's like the meanest, like angriest when he's yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
Tear the ship apart. It's like, oh,
That was one of the notes you made, wasn't it?
he's real
From-
chilly. I'll chill
Cabin
the rest of
Weekend.
the time. Oh, I lost my notes. I went somewhere else. Best villain?
Darth
I mean-
MF and Vader.
There's Vader, and this is our only movie with Tarkin, except for the return in whatchamacallit,
Rogue.
Rogue One.
Still Vader though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Vader. 100%. All day, every day. Vader.
I mean, he's in the pantheon. Yeah. Best hero, Luke or Han or Leia.
This is Luke's story.
It's Luke.
It is Luke.
I mean, Leia is more heroic and more effective as a leader, but it's Luke's story.
So best set or city or planet or location. So planets in this, we only see 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Rebel base on Yavin 4 at the end. There's Tatooine, where he is born in the first half of the movie.
And then you can argue that we see Alderaan.
We swim through Alderaan.
You could make a case for Alderaan.
once
For
it
a
is
little bit.
mush.
Like, there's Alderaan over there, and
Yeah.
over there, and also over there.
Our friend Scott that went to high school with us, when he got married, he had a
Talking about Flithy.
he had a Star Wars themed wedding.
That's like a code word. Like, we all got codes.
Like we don't have 1,000 inside jokes on this podcast.
But he was working on like the seating arrangement for the reception, and all the tables were different planets. And he realized that like Aunt Susie, who just lost Uncle Bob, and he sat her at Alderaan, and he was like, "Is that gonna like trigger? Is that a?" And I was like,
Aunt Susie has never seen Star
Aunt
Wars.
Susie is not gonna be like, "I can't believe you
What's
put me
an
on a dead
Alderaan?
planet." Yeah. But that was fun.
But I mean, that's true to his nature. That's kind and considerate, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have worried. It would have been like Aunt Susie, vaya con Dios.
It's the only Star Wars wedding I've ever been to.
My sister had R2D2 bring her wedding ring down, and wedding rings R2D2 brought. There's a guy here that's got a life-size R2D2 that he built, and he also built BB-8 and Chopper.
Does it have a little person inside of it?
No, he remotes that shit.
Oh, okay.
He's an engineer. He works on rockets and shit. He's smart. But yeah.
Alabama's so country.
Also the guy...
With your friend, the rocket scientist who builds droids.
Yeah, and then they're officiant. Where it said religion on their papers, he put Jedi. And he did have a saber for part of their... I forgot about that. He had a saber for part of their...
That counts then. That is a full-blown
That's
Star Wars
pretty-
wedding. I don't
pretty
give a
Star
shit
Wars.
if people were wearing tuxes and evening gowns. That's a Star Wars wedding.
Now I do have to mention and apologize that my niece got married, and my brother Curtis was the
Right,
officiant in that.
All right, guys, we're coming clean. Every wedding that we've ever been to has
actually
been a
been
Star
Star
Wars
Wars.
wedding.
Curtis went and got ordained in like it's called like the Ministry of the Sacred Wookiee or something like that. It's like
course it
he's
is.
got like a Chewbacca medallion that he wears,
Yes,
and he
Curtis.
Right, because Chewbacca didn't get a fucking medallion.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go, and that's
But he
why he
did
does now.
in
So
Rise
he
of
started his own
Skywalker.
religion, and now my brother can marry people.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Way to go, Curtis. Love
and
it.
it freaked the groom's family out because they were like, "You're the what?" And he's like, "The Sacred Wookiee."
My sister will listen to this and be like...
And he was like with both hands on the mic, this was your idea.
And they're like, "This is gonna."
My
be
sister will
real.
listen to this and be like, we also did this and this and this, and then I forgot. I don't be remembering.
That's not her fault. That's your fault,
That's
by
my
the
fault.
way.
I did want to walk in my wedding. I wanted to walk down the aisle to the Vader march, but that was vetoed. Probably for a good
Do you know what?
She
You
was
know
like,
what?
that's starting our marriage off on a bad foot with that ominous music.
she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
But also, I think in our little circle of fandom here, I think we can make that wish happen for you. I think that's something that we can do on the pod.
We did use
Is
pod.
we can have you walk down the aisle to recording an episode of We Are a Star War to the Imperial March. That we can do.
We did have somebody's getting married by the Muppets in our pre-show, our pre-wedding music.
Who was the opening act?
The Muppets and
Hey, what's your favorite ship from this movie?
The Millennium Falcon.
I mean, this one has all of them. It's got
The X-wing is
It's
also.
got X-wings,
It's got TIE fighters.
A-wings,
It's got Vader's
and
TIE
B-wings,
fighter.
and Y-wings, Vader's TIE fighter.
It's also got the
Did it
Millennium
always have
Falcon.
the B-wings? I thought the B-wings were new for Jedi.
They might be.
Yeah,
That's
I think,
true.
But I mean, with the special edition being kind of the main thing now, I know he added some additional ships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think the B-wing was a ship until Return of the Jedi.
I think you're right.
CJ agrees with me.
She is right. She knows their shit. This movie also has now the first appearance of Boba Fett, when originally it did not. He was in a. He doesn't. he
Oh
didn't show
yeah,
up
this is
until-
your least favorite scene in the world.
It makes me so mad that he added that scene with. He kills Greedo, and he's made that weird. Because
Right.
now when you watch it, he says McClunky, and then they both shoot at the same time, and it's weird and stupid. Nobody knows what it means.
And it made more sense before that Han was like, I don't have time for this.
Han is the
Bang.
guy that will shoot him. Han shoots
Right.
first.
Han shot first. That's it. It's over.
If we're gonna redeem Han, this is where he starts as a guy who's gonna shoot people.
Right.
Great. And then we redeem him. We don't go back in time and say he's always been a really good guy.
No, he hasn't.
Damn it. He's a smuggler. And he shot that man, and no one said McClunky.
Well, and the whole Solo movie was about him learning to shoot first.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then,
Poor Woody Harrelson never got to play the Valicourt because Han shot him dead. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he was going to kill Han, so C.S. La Vida.
but they didn't need to add the scene immediately after where he goes and says the exact same conversation he had with Greedo. He has it again with this weird fake Jabba the Hutt that can now walk around and talk, and his eyes go googly when you step on his tail. Isn't it funny?
He hadn't indulged as much in his riches, and he wasn't as fat. He hadn't learned enough yet to be the slob in the basement.
How long until Jedi is?
It's only a
Like a
year.
year?
Jabba
2 years?
fell, and he got a windfall, right? Like he had some pod racing schemes that kind
Han-
of came through.
Han paid him all that money plus more.
Yeah, he got
He
paid,
was burning,
and just
living high.
it's
on
not a
life.
good scene.
They
It's
don't
not a
make
good scene.
sense.
It's
I
not a
don't
good
like
scene. We don't need it.
It's unnecessary.
Just because you shot it, don't mean it's got to go in the movie.
Well, but there was an era of Lucas films where there was no one telling him no,
That is true.
and that's one of those scenes.
Yeah.
But again, that was him test driving new tech
Yeah.
and putting it in movies, and the tech that he used to make that scene that we don't like ended up in a lot of other movies. So
Made Forrest Gump.
Yep. Yes, it made Forrest Gump. He should have just put Forrest Gump
Yeah.
as
No.
fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Gump was out before that.
I believe I need to go pee.
Yeah.
I had about 14
believe I
Dr.
shot
Peppers.
first.
I believe he said McClunky.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Best chase?
I mean, it opens with one of the best chases in all of Star Wars history.
It does.
But the trench run,
Trench run is
Yeah.
best. Yep.
right?
Yeah, I don't mean, did I even really need to vote on that?
No, I don't know. Like, that's the thing with this episode. Is like,
We're all pretty much going to be in agreement on a lot of this.
Best fight? Like we only have one lightsaber duel in this one, and it's not our favorite one.
I think the best fight is when Obi-Wan cuts the arm off that douche pickle in the cantina. Because I'm not going to say it's the Obi-Wan Vader fight. I'm fine that it's two old men slapping sticks in the middle of the hallway. And this bullshit fucking hyper-choreographed, fan-made film where everybody's like, this needs to be in the movie. No, it doesn't. If you put that shit in A New Hope, it's going to be like somebody took a shit in the movie. It's
'cause
not
Vader-
going to work.
Vader
It's
would
going to be
still
like putting in a Jabba the Hutt that can walk around.
Thank you.
Vader would be in good shape. Well,
It's
relatively
a great
good shape.
demo reel for the people who made it. Hats off to them. It doesn't belong in the movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obi-Wan would give basically the effort that he gave in the movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. He didn't have to fight Vader. All he had to do was stall him.
Yeah, he was.
He already beat Vader.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Catharsis.
Catharsis.
Catharsis. Isn't that a planet in Star Wars?
I think that's going to be the next
Isn't that where the
Disney
sacred
Plus
Jedi
show.
texts are?
Jedi Catharsis. What's the best shot in this movie?
Yeah.
Opening shot.
The Star Destroyer.
So the Star Destroyer.
I do like the two suns on
There's two
Tatooine.
suns.
Yeah,
standing
Luke
up,
looking at the two suns. Yeah.
That's
like,
badass.
that's the sentimental.
And the music. Oh god damn!
Yeah,
the music,
that's-
the whole combination.
Yeah, I agree.
In fact, what are we doing with this wall in your office, Jim?
I think you're going to paint a mural,
I think
apparently.
we should paint the goddamn
suns.
But it's Jimmy standing there.
I think the problem is like you folks that are like the one or two of you that are listening to this, you're imagining like an incredible mural. It's going to be the most paint by numbers bullshit.
This is gonna be 2 yellow circles.
No, bitch, we gonna get a projector so our proportions is right.
Sure, let's start with that.
And,
Portions of the skyline on Tatooine.
but Jimmy's head's got to be right up there.
Right, enormous.
Why would
big
Jimmy
ass-
be in it? He can just stand next to it,
That's
and
what
then
I'm
you
saying.
take pictures
Instead
of
Luke
it.
looking at it.
It's like a selfie wall.
Instead of Luke looking
We're
at
gonna
the suns, it's
we're gonna
Jimmy.
make one of the walls in the office a photo booth.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This might be our
Can't do a clubhouse. At least give us.
our new
Photo
business.
wall.
We need a clubhouse.
Jimmy built a clubhouse. For
Hey,
us.
if you guys want to send us clubhouse money,
Yep, we got to go fund me.
Venmo
we won't invite you to it.
at Jimmy needs a clubhouse.
It's true.
.org.
Yeah.
What's the
.net.
best use of the Force in this movie?
Hannah.
There are lots of options, but I really like these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Martin.
Mind trick. That's a
Which
good
one's
one.
your favorite?
Top 3 would be that. It would be the first time he force chokes that dude for bad talking his religion.
Mm-hmm.
Or blowing up the Death Star by turning off your tracking computer and using the Force, Luke. I mean, he blew up the Death Star by
He
using
did.
the Force.
He did.
Although it's about the same as Bullseye and Womp Rats.
yeah, I mean, he
from his
didn't use the
T-16s,
Force. He
and
just
he didn't use the
like,
Force back
trusted
then.
in himself.
So
I think the best use of the Force is when Obi-Wan is sneaking around the Death Star and he's like circus peanuts. He's just like using the Force to throw rocks to misdirect the stormtroopers. They're over there.
That's pretty good.
special effects in this movie,
It's great.
and they won an award. They were, I still like the old shots when you watch this movie now,
Yeah.
and you're like, you can like, for us, I think,
Uh-huh.
I don't know about kids now, but for us, you can be like, oh, that's the old movie, that's the new movie, that's the
Yeah.
old movie. And I like the old movie. I like when I can tell it's a miniature because the fire is a little bit too big for the thing.
Right.
It's like one big flame, whatever. But you're like, that's a miniature. But I've seen 1,000 hours of behind the scenes of those miniatures out on the lot where they've got the camera on the thing moving through it.
Yep.
Like, this movie takes me back to where you would watch a movie and say, God, how did they do that? And you don't say that anymore when you watch movies now.
The fucking
No one says that because it's all
practical
the same
scroll at the
answer.
beginning.
Yep.
The fucking,
CGI.
Yeah, the fucking scroll.
Yeah, that's like on a plate of glass, like printed out in several different languages because they had to do it over and over
That shit's
again
Oh, that's
amazing.
cool.
for a bunch of different countries. I just learned on a meme somewhere. What do you
CJ is mad.
CJ's big mad.
acting, plot, fan service? This movie doesn't have fan service.
No.
No, the
It
acting is
didn't
bad.
have fans when they made it.
The acting's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's not great.
there's a little bit of the going to the Tashi station and
So I want when we get to the nerdy with it, we'll come back to that one. But I got a couple of feelings on that one.
but watching this back with like our grown eyes, I still like Han Solo. I'm like, Harrison Ford is kicking ass in this
Yeah.
movie. He is
He's a
so
star.
good. If you can put one F-bomb in this movie,
It's got to be Obi-Wan. Use the fucking Force, Luke.
Nah, it can't be Obi-Wan. He wouldn't curse, would he?
I don't know.
I think it's that son of a bitch on the Star Destroyer that Vader chokes out. Right? Who's just yip, 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 yip. Just fucking running his mouth about old religions and sorcerers and shit. And Vader's like, click, 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 click. When Vader finally lets him go, he's like, quietly, fuck.
That's pretty good.
Or it's the fucking, intern 3 seats down who's like, oh, fuck.
I'm going to go comedic and say when C-3PO finally turns off the trash compactor and they're in there, fuck! Or 3PO's like, oh, fuck, listen to them screaming.
Right, listen to their screams. They're
What does he
dying
say?
in
Damn,
agony.
Damn my... Does he say, damn my slow limbs or something?
Right.
We just
Robot
hear,
arms.
in the background while he's listening. It says, "Listen to them scream." We just hear, "Fuck."
All right, that's lightning round.
Seg
All
2
right,
is done.
Seg 2, done, down.
We'll be back.
Oh no! Another humdrum day doing your dumb job on Coruscant? Sometimes you need a delicious burger with a side of obscure weapons knowledge. Dex's Diner. Open always. Dex has 4 arms and a unique face, and he can cook a mean sloppy Joe. And he knows what kind of dart that is.
Dex!
We are back for round 3.
And
What's happening?
I'm a star. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, no.
Round 3, let's get nerdy with it.
Let's do it.
Do y'all have anything pressing you want to just spit out right now? Or you want me
So-
to throw some things at you?
James sent me a TikTok that I can't watch because I refuse to sign up for TikTok.
I'll show you. He sent it to me.
But I was able to get the gist of it, and it was basically
I had
a
synced it.
contemporary takedown of A New Hope.
Yeah, it's like if nerds today were watching A New Hope.
Yeah.
And
They
there
would
was
hate it.
nothing new about it because those were all things that we said about it.
Yeah, they're like when Lando shows up, they're like, "Oh, they go woke." It's funny. I mean, the dude was.
It is funny.
He
and
needed to edit. I'm very critical of TikTok videos. Edit that shit down.
this
Nobody needs
guy's a
3 minutes
TikTok
of that.
connoisseur.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He is the Ebert of TikTok critics.
Well, a lot of the things we talk about usually, what's been retconned?
Nothing.
Freaking all of it.
Well, except for the
every
Han
ounce of
Solo.
What questions need to be answered at the end of this? What does it leave unanswered? I mean, this movie is self-contained because they didn't think there would be more.
Right.
So it has an ending. It has a farm kid joins the rebellion, fights the
down the
bad guy,
Empire. Yep.
destroys the castle, saves the princess, gets a medal.
Chewie fucking doesn't somehow.
No medal for Chewie.
My
So-
brother got straight up mad at Thanksgiving one year. We were talking about that.
About Chewie?
About Chewie not
About
getting a
Chewie
medal.
not getting a medal. He fucking got mad and stood up and was like, "Why the fuck didn't Chewie get a medal?"
It is weird because why did they make him stand there with them?
Yeah. He's like, "That's
He's like, Chewie, you're my
disrespectful."
co-pilot. Come stand next to me while everyone tells how brave I am.
I wonder what the backstory is on that.
The whole medal? Like what- I don't-
No. Like why he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody had to ask the question, do I make one for Chewie? Right? Like the production designer, the set decorator, the wardrobe, whoever's like whoever was responsible, somebody was like, who's getting a medal?
Yeah.
Luke got it. Han, definitely. Leia giving the medals away.
Yeah, Leia's in
Chewbacca?
charge of medals, so she doesn't get one.
I don't know. Chewbacca, should he get one? I don't know.
He was the
Ask
fucking
George.
first gunner, man.
Right. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm saying Chewbacca deserves a fucking medal. He should have been given him out. But I'm just saying somebody asked the question, do I make one for Chewbacca? Does Peter get one?
Yeah.
Right.
His
And
costume
somebody
design,
was
right?
like, I don't know, ask George. And then somebody was like, I don't want to.
They're like, let's
He's
read
got a lot on
the
his mind.
script. He bends down, she puts it around Han's neck. He bends down, she puts it around Luke's neck.
No medal for Chewie.
Zoom out. Nope.
Done.
Just make 2. Thanks. They were the only 2 people that did anything good that day.
I think it's hateful.
Whole squad
Chewie was mad. He just went off and like
smushed
ate
across
a porg.
the face of the
Right.
thing that they then blew up.
Poor Brown Squadron didn't
The
make it
whole
out.
Brown Squadron. R.I.P.
Our forerunners, our ancestors.
This movie also has like the Battle of Yavin is like it's the Jesus of the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything is 22 years before the
Yeah,
Battle of
yeah.
Yavin or 50 years after the Battle of Yavin.
I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
What battle?
The Death Star battle.
Sure.
The Death Star.
That's the Death Star battle, not the Battle of Yavin. There was no fighting on Yavin.
But
That's like naming your battle after the port that you launched your ships from. This is the Battle of Montgomery Bay.
I've always wondered about the Yavin thing too. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
that's a good ass now that you think about it.
That's a how to hell.
It's not really out of hell, but it's just a...
Now that you think about it.
I'll be go to hell.
Oh, no,
it's more an I'll be go to hell than a how to hell.
No, the how to hells are all the everything about
That poor dog.
twin brothers and sisters that don't know they're standing next to each other, that don't know they're standing next to their father, even though they are all force sensitive.
Right.
Creatures.
Like Darth Vader could like force sense a fart on the wind,
Yeah.
but he's like chasing Luke down. He's like, this motherfucker.
He's like, stop the ship. We just passed a planet. And
This
my
kid's name
son's
is
on it.
Skywalker? For real?
From Tatooine.
What a
That's my
coincidence.
name.
And he's got a handmade protocol droid and a astromech.
Looks an awful like this droid that I was building when I was a kid.
Is that motherfucker Obi-Wan Kenobi? Hanging out with him.
No, that's just old Ben. that's old Ben Kenobi, not the same person at all.
That's a presence I haven't felt since... I gotta go.
Right? Y'all, this dog
is so
this
high.
dog is so high.
To be clear at home, they're talking about an actual dog,
Remy,
not me.
Not Remy. Grimlock got his nuts removed this morning. But a poor dog.
We'll post this picture so y'all can see what we're talking about. This poor dog is having a hard time. All right, what's next?
Well, I don't know. We're just getting nerdy. I mean, I have my super big, super deep theory that the whole thing is a setup, that it's all an inside job, that Obi-Wan got together with Anakin to take down the Emperor, and this was step one, is you got to go get my kids and get them together and bring them to the Death Star. Like, I think there was a whole plan. I think Leia maybe even was in on it because she was a senator. So I think that maybe that's why Leia is like standing there with her back up against Vader, like talking about, look who's holding Vader's leash.
Is that before or after she has a British accent?
It's after, right after.
Because her accent does change in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yes. When we were watching it, it felt like everything that comes out of Obi-Wan's mouth is a lie. Because everything he says is, oh, do I know him? Haven't heard that name in a while. Like he's thinking, do I keep lying or do I just say that's me? Okay, yeah, that's me. I'm Obi-Wan.
So
And then he's like, a droid? I don't think I ever raised a droid before.
so that's something that
And R2's like, dude, do you remember when I was in the hangar and I turned on the elevator so you and Anakin could save the Chancellor? You don't remember any of that? I was vital to that mission, sir. I could fly back then.
Do you remember when I had fire rockets in my feet?
I have since decommissioned my own fire rockets. Burnt too many people. But you could remember, please, that I was like a Clone War MVP. And no respect. It's like me, the way he treats those droids.
It's like Fort Grimlock.
But everything that Obi-Wan says, everything he says about Anakin, everything he says about what happened to him, you're like, are you sugarcoating this for Luke? Are you lying because this is part of the plan to get Luke
so I
off
think
this planet? And
what if
you're about to put a lightsaber in his hand and say, here, let's go kill your father.
All right, so we have the benefit of having watched 1,000 hours of Star Wars content to include the Obi-Wan series, which deals with Obi-Wan's state of mind and his conflicts and all of that shit while he's, on guard duty on Tatooine. So what if after he took down Darth Maul, what if he was just playing solitaire for like 10 years, right? Literally just like cooled out, didn't do a damn thing, right?
Yep.
And then one day Luke shows up and Obi-Wan lost his composure and was just like, here's everything, right? Like he just like drops it all. He's like, oh my God, your dad. Wait, no, not your dad. This is a lightsaber, but it's anyway. So he just like didn't know what to do with the fact that Luke showed up, because for the last 19 years he's been watching over Luke and wanting to connect with him and wanting to train him, which doesn't make sense. Why would Obi-Wan want to train Luke? It didn't really go well for him last time. I mean,
he needs to fix some shit.
That's Lars's point, right?
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to fix some shit. He knew how he failed, or he thinks he failed. Anakin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Obi-Wan the best Jedi?
Yeah,
I think he is.
he is.
I think so.
I think both in his actions.
He's not the most powerful Jedi, but
No.
he's the best Jedi.
I think he's the best.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that we
got the
see of
best
Yoda,
one,
the more
honey.
I'm like, bitch, you were asleep at the wheel. Do or do not. There is no try. Motherfucker, you did nothing.
And not to bring current events into it, but maybe 900 years is a little too old to be running things. Maybe you need to step aside sometimes and let some younger people take
Hey,
over the Jedi Council.
You think he talked right when he was like 300? Years?
Right.
Yeah, when he was 300,
But now he's old.
he was more
and so now
racist
he's
back
like,
then, but yeah.
do not.
I think
There is no try.
for the species
Fuck,
that is
I will.
Yoda and Grogu, I think they just jumped straight from wanting to eat frogs to backwards talk.
Okay, good. Man, I thought you were going to say something. Jesus.
All right,
What-
what's
do we have
the
anything
next
left,
question? I think that's it.
I mean, that's my big theory about it's all a lie. Obviously, it's easily disproven, but that's my theory.
Do we still have questions left, or was that it?
No, that's all the questions.
We've been forgetting, and I can't believe you haven't brought this up, but who has the biggest dong?
Well, in A New Hope, it's motherfucking Chewbacca.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we move on to that, let's cover some of the notes we did write down. At 17 minutes and 11 seconds, we meet Luke for the first time.
That's a big deal, man. You're almost 20 minutes into the movie, and you haven't met the main character yet.
29 minutes, 46 seconds, Obi-Wan shows up.
That's the end of Act 1.
47 minutes, 54 seconds, Han Solo shows up.
You deep into Act 2 now.
Yeah. That's the only ones I wrote down.
Vader shows up at like.
But for some reason, when you're in a cabin watching this movie, those are vital.
Well, but when you think
That's interesting. I
when you
never
think
thought
about
about that
Han
shit.
Solo, when you think about Han Solo, he's like he's in all of Star Wars. No, he's not in that movie until an hour into it, almost.
They don't leave Tatooine until 55 minutes in.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just puttering around. Blue milk.
Sand, it gets everywhere.
It is everywhere.
I also wrote down hypodermic needle with an exclamation point because when they go to torture
Oh yeah, Princess Leia.
Princess Leia, they've got a freaking hypodermic needle sticking out of the side of a floating like drone droid thing. Like, is that scary? You can just poke her with a needle. You don't need a robot to do it. But of course, according to my theory, there was no torture. They just closed the door and hung out. And we're like, everything's going according to plan. Ben picked up Luke. They'll be here shortly. So I'm going to go downstairs.
I'm gonna shoot this board.
And then I'm going to, I'm going to Dumbledore him in front of Luke for him. He's sick of living in the sand.
It gets everywhere.
It does.
It does. I have been told.
Yeah. He never went back to Tatooine.
Is that the only notes we made?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we were thorough,
Yeah.
complete.
What time did we watch this movie?
It was like 2 p.m.
On Saturday?
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was daylight.
But we had been up.
it took 6 hours to watch it.
We had been up for about 4 hours, and that's when you're day drinking.
We don't drink.
No.
Never, ever in our history.
Wouldn't.
So yeah, that's the Star War.
It is.
And I
It's a
love
dang
the Star
good
War.
It's
Star
a
War.
damn good Star Wars. Yeah.
We have a podcast about a Star War because of this movie.
The thing is, we're offered Moet, and we don't mind Chivas. But wherever we go, we bring the Star War with us. So we brought up who has the biggest dong
It's kind of a
in Star
long-standing
Wars
question in
episode
our,
4, A New Hope.
We have skipped this question quite a bit on the last several episodes.
We can go back and do. We can talk about
I think
dongs
we
all
should.
day if you
Yeah, I
want.
think we should.
But New Hope first. Who's the biggest dong? I am
said
going to say
Chewbacca.
that I don't want to say
I thought we
Jabba
said,
the Hutt because
He wasn't in this movie.
he shouldn't be in this movie.
I thought we said Chewbacca earlier, which is why I didn't offer to record this again.
Well,
so
if it's
quickly.
not Chewbacca, then who is it, baby?
Is it a bantha? The bantha's got a bigger dong than Chewbacca.
That's true. The bantha's like half dick.
It's like Chewbacca's leg swinging under a bantha. And we're just getting started. We don't know the size or shape of the animal that was inside the trash compactor.
When we define biggest, is it volume? Is it length? Is it mass? Like, what is
Girth.
it? Is it girth? Is it circumference? Is it staying power? Like, what are the metrics?
I'm glad you asked. I actually do have a formula.
Okay.
I don't have a formula.
Dear God, lay it on me. Okay. Because I would argue, I think the fucking creature that's in the garbage disposal, I bet it's got a bigger dong than a bantha. I bet it's half dick.
It's too
We don't know
thin.
how big it
it's
is.
too thin. Yeah.
Right? No. But
I mean, is it like a snake thing or is it like a thing? I don't even know. I just see his little eye pop up one time, right?
Right. It's an eye on one end and a dick on the other.
It's one eye and a long dong.
Instead of the one-eyed Jack on one side, it's one-eyed Jack on the other side.
That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, this is why we often skip this question.
Oof. I'm sticking with bantha. I vote bantha.
Bantha.
I wish y'all could see how serious this motherfucker
We had
looks.
those. There's also those green things that they were walking on.
Were they in the original?
They
Are
were
we
not.
basing this on the original
No.
or the special edition? Because I feel like that those were added.
I feel like there was one
and
in the
weird,
corner
like,
that
giraffe.
didn't move because it wasn't real.
Remember
That thing's
they
not
added
real.
the giraffe with the fish ears
That the
inside
little
Mos Eisley.
the little buddy swings from its reins.
I bet it's got a dick like an elephant.
Probably.
Probably still not bigger than a bantha. Though.
That's true. Bantha's
big
just
old
girthy.
Bantha.
Yup.
Bantha just moves slowly, just dragging that dick through the sand.
Or maybe, and hear me out, the Jawas under that hood, it's all dick under there.
With two lights.
With two lights stuck on the front of it. Jawas are
like
actually
googly
just
eyes.
little dongs walking around. Click, 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 like those little dicks that you wind up and they hop around.
Yes, just like those little
Just like
dicks that you
those.
wind up.
That's what
that hop
Jawas are.
around.
Bantha's-
Routini indeed.
Bantha's bigger.
Houdini.